did. He got into some real type shit to the point where he ended up getting shot. Now, all I'm saying with all this is, these kids, who knows how fucking shit would have turned out. And for the oldest one, shit turned out pretty decent. He's just that type of dude. That shit was fate. I mean, it was written. He was gonna turn out somehow decent no matter what. But my littlest cousin got shot 17 times. He lived, but getting shot 17 times, that's what happens when you out there like that. You know what I'm saying? He's been out there like that since he was like 6 or 7 years old. Nobody really able to control him. And then once moms was gone all day and pretty much till bedtime, there was no controlling this kid. That streets raised that kid. And I didn't help. I would get these kids in all kinds of trouble when I would come to visit. It was all fucked up. And I don't even know what happened to the girl. But I imagine growing up in that household, in that situation, being the youngest in the family, and a girl in a house with just filled with testosterone. And our house was the house that the neighborhood congregated at. So it's just, I don't know. I hope she turned out well. But reason why I say this is because in the beginning of Soulja Story, that Tupac song I'm talking about, it starts out, they cutting off welfare. And they think crime is high now. We got cops killing blacks, blacks killing blacks. It's just gonna get worse. That's the beginning of the song. And it's true as fuck. Because, I mean, just look at what happened in Chicago in the coming decades after they cut that shit off in the early 90s or late 80s. The shit skyrocketed. Just like fucking Pac said. Because he seen it just like I seen it. These kids didn't have nobody to raise them. And you punishing them because their parents fucked up. Every rich asshole always says, oh well, it's not my problem that your parents fucked up. But then you want to bitch about all this crime and activity. Soulja Story is about two kids, two boys, growing up in the hood with a mother that's, I think, sounds like on heroin or some kind of drug addict, and a father that's gone, not in the house. Could be dead, I don't think he says. But the boy, the oldest boy, is 17, and his mom is an addict. She ain't around. Dad ain't around. So he has to step up and take care of the family. And he does it by selling drugs. And he becomes a kingpin at 17. Sooner or later, he gets locked up. The brother, the young brother, is 15. And he is wild as fuck. But he's wild because his brother's wild. His brother's wild because he took on that fucking role, and that's how he figured out how to get money. So the younger brother is doing an impersonation of the bigger brother, who's now in prison. So the younger brother at 15 decides he's gonna take over the block for his bigger brother. And as the younger brother, 15 years old, is taking on new responsibilities. His dope fiend mom comes and tells him to go break his 17-year-old brother out of prison. So he does it because his mom told him to. That's and they both get, well, I don't know if they get killed. One of them definitely gets killed and the other gets shot, but it's not for sure if he dies. And then in the end, it says the fast life ain't everything they told you. Never get much older, following the tracks of a soldier. The youngest one of my cousins got shot 17 fucking times. Am I saying that shit would have never happened if everything stayed the same and she'd just been, get the fuck out of here, you stupid dog. It doesn't mean that their whole life would have just been peachy keen, but I know it changed drastically for the worse. Now, I'm not saying Pac was a prophet. He was just seeing all the stuff that the rest of us were seeing. And when he would talk, he would say that he was rapping and doing all this shit for us, the young niggas, as he would call us. And that shit made you feel good knowing that there was somebody, anybody out there willing to speak for you. It felt amazing because there's so many motherfuckers that pretend that they care about you and pretend that they speaking for you, but they ain't. But Pac put his balls on the fucking table and said, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this shit for my young niggas. He said, I can't wait to spark the brain. That shit sparked my brain. And obviously it did a lot of other motherfuckers. That's another thing, man. Like, once I came to Salt Lake and I wasn't surrounded by motherfuckers that just love house music on one side or motherfuckers that love country music and hate everything that isn't considered not super white. Coming out of Salt Lake and seeing how much love motherfuckers have for Pac and rap shit. And I'm saying fucking white boys that look the same as the fucking douchebags back in Minnesota, but just had totally different fucking attitudes. It was like, I no longer felt weird. I was like, holy shit, I'm not weird. Those fucking rednecks are the ones that are fucking weird. I'm normal. That's what it was like. I really think that the song Violent is probably my favorite song ever. The one that the dude said geeked him up so much he shot it out with the cops. That fucking song, once again, that ain't no gangster shit. These motherfucking dudes is chilling. Driving down the street and some asshole fucking profiles them. This is the song. This is what happens in the song Violent. Some asshole profiles him, pulls him over, you know, being a dick, frisking them all up and down, going all through their car and shit, trying to find something, but they ain't got shit. This fucking asshole just sees all black, this cop just sees all black motherfuckers as shitty drug dealers. He's fucking with them. They get sick of this shit. And somehow they get into a fight with the cops. I think, they tried to frame, they tried to put dope on these two black dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit ain't never really happened. And instead of just going with it, They was like, fuck that shit. Started wrestling with the cops, wrestled the cops' guns away, and they shot him. It sounds like I haven't actually seen that movie, but God damn it, I got it on my list. I don't know why I don't watch it. It looks really good. With the black lawyer lady and the black dude. I don't know what he do, but they get pulled over, and the police is one of them fucking scary motherfuckers or racist. I don't know which, but he freaks the fuck out and attempts to either shoot or he's like freaking the fuck out to the point where they feel like they need to fucking intervene for themselves, and they end up killing this cop or shooting him at least. I don't know exactly what happens, but that's kind of what happens in violence. These fucking cops is dirty as shit. They trying to fucking dirty these boys. Boys fight back. They get the best of the fucking cops. And instead of running, they decide to shoot it out with the cops that are coming as backup to these fucking pieces of shit. So they take all their guns and get ready to shoot it out with the cops' guns. Pac was thinking about shit on that level when he was like, this is his first fucking album, Tupacalypse. These songs that I'm talking about. These different songs. This man was on such a different level at like 18, 19 when he was writing these songs. You know, it was a trip. When I was coming to Salt Lake for the first time, I wrote, well, not the first time legally. I rode a Greyhound bus. And on this bus, I was sitting next to, not next to her, but she was like in the aisle across. And I don't know, I was probably just listening to my Walkman. Chilling, not paying nobody no mind, and she's, for some reason, she like taps me and she says something about, do you know who Tupac is? Because this is still pretty early. I say I was 17, so that would have been like 93. And she's like, yeah, it's this strange fucking chick, probably a couple years older than, probably about 5 or 6 years older than me. She goes, do you know who Tupac is? Or something like that. Or do you like Tupac? And I looked at her like, what? You know what I'm saying? Some fucking older white lady to me. Because she was probably about 24 or some shit. So I'm like, what the fuck is this old lady talking to me about? She's kind of hippie and grungy and dirty looking. I was dirty looking too. So I ain't judging. But I'm like, I probably said something like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's all right. Trying to get my headphones back on and out of this conversation as quick as possible. And then she was like, something like, Tupac, me and Tupac went to school together. It was like so random and shit and weird. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like the biggest fucking Tupac fan in the world. But I ain't finna be jumping out of my fucking panties for some broad talking about she went to school with this dude. So I'm like, oh yeah? You know what I'm saying? Because this is after Juice came out. And my motherfucking nickname was Juice. So even that shit had something. Even that shit had something to like to do with the way I had love for that motherfucker. But speaking of Machiavelli. But god damn it. That fucking shit making me forget what I was talking about. Man. God damn it. I done lost my motherfucking train of thought. Hold the fuck up. Okay, so I'm thinking about the girl I met on the Greyhound bus. Anyway, this chick had hairy legs too. That's another thing I remember. It was like off-putting, but she was cool as fuck. Fucking dog. Anyway, so she's like, do I know Pac and all that shit? And I'm like, or do I like Pac? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like telling me these stories about when they was going to this art school together, and how talented he was, and how smart he was, and how good a dancer, and all this shit. And she's talking about him like he's not Tupac, like he's this this dancer kind of guy that she knows, because he's still pretty much in the public known for the Digital Underground being on the Humpty Dance shit, and songs like I Get Around, which was a decent song, but it's not even probably in the top 8 songs on that motherfucker. It's probably not even top 8 off of Tupacalypse. So he was popular. No, actually, I don't even think it was I Get Around that out yet. He was still like Brenda's Got a Baby type shit. So people hadn't really heard of him outside of like crazy motherfucking fans like me. He wasn't at the pinnacle yet. Not even close. Once he did Juice, that's when his shit started to rise like a fucking meteor. But she was talking all this shit, and then she showed me this picture of, this is like a black and white old like fucking school picture of a bunch of like teenagers and what definitely looked like Tupac. And that's when I was like, cause when you a kid, you like make up urban legends of where your motherfucking heroes come from. And I just could not believe that this kid that was in some lame ass performing arts school, surrounded by white motherfuckers, just like I was in my motherfucking school. I just don't. I think it's not that I didn't take it serious. It's that I just was like, I don't know. It's just the wrong place for me to get into like a real fucking talk with some chick that I didn't know, and I was like physically put off by it, but mentally intrigued. But really, I just like looked at the picture and I was like, oh, that's cool, and kind of just was like, let me put my music back on. But that was a fucking amazing goddamn coincidental conversation that just, I could have exploited that fucking situation for so much more. I mean, we had hours on this fucking bus with nothing to do but listen to some shitty ass old fucking tapes that I had. But I don't know, man. I think that's the level that Tupac reached. It made me like proud to be like down with that shit from the beginning. It made me like really feel like I was not weird. That all them motherfuckers that was hating, they was the weird ones. So when you see these motherfuckers, you seem to have like a irrational Tupac fetish or some shit. Maybe it is, but when you get touched like that as a fucking really impressionable teenager, I don't know, man. I ain't hating on the new generation. I'm just trying to find who is it? Kanye? who the fuck? Maybe it's Jay-Z, Biggie's little brother, which is a stupid thing to say because that motherfucker's a billionaire. But that's the reality of how Jay-Z showed up. He rode Biggie's coattails hard. I like Jay-Z, but that's what I'm saying. It's like Jay-Z is hella commercial, and that motherfucker made a lot of money, which can actually make him into an entrepreneur that can help people. So I could never hate on that. But I'm just talking about how all them motherfuckers got good music to party to. But Pac's music was that shit. Like, he would do these things. Like, this is back when I was taking mushrooms and acid all the time too. He would have these skits in his CDs that weren't music. It was just him talking. And man, that shit would get so deep. Especially when you a fucking drugged up teenager. He'd be like, he'll speak in like a real deep computerized voice. And it had this slow beat going behind it. And he'll talk about real shit. Like a little girl getting shot over a bottle of orange juice. Some Korean lady did that shit. It's true, it happened. He'll say shit like, one nigga teach two niggas, teach four niggas, teach more niggas. And it's simple, but it's brilliant in its simplicity because it's so true. That's what it was. Pac would speak simple, brilliant truths. And I ain't seen nobody that's been able to do that shit and then come out with another fucking CD that was not commercial, but commercially nice. Me Against the World. That shit is a classic. This man put out 2 classics, and the most popular one, All Eyes on Me, is 3rd place, but it's the shit. Man, I remember when Pac got out of jail. First time I heard All Eyes on Me, the CD All Eyes on Me was the first time I heard I won't deny I'm a straight rider. You wanna fuck with me. Do, 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 do. I was at South City Cafe. Tell me how many motherfuckers from now can remember 20 years from now can remember exactly where they were at when they heard some motherfucking song for the first time. It's only been a couple songs like that that stand out in my life. But Tupac, when that shit would come on in the club, that doom, 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 everybody would rush the dance floor. Jocks, gangsters, nerds, bitches, football players, basketball players, it don't fucking matter. Everybody would hit the dance floor. It's like Dre with the Chronic. I was too young to be involved in that shit. But man, All Eyes on Me, that had to be very similar to how the Chronic, when motherfuckers was playing that shit in the club, was going. It's just the whole fucking club was just loving that shit. South City Cafe, man. That shit was a great spot. But yeah, I just wanted to put an amendment on that one. January 28, 2021. Walking on treadmill. Still watching Straight Outta Compton. Not really a lot going on. So I think I want to do a dissertation on why Tupac is better than Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Gandhi. But seriously, it is kind of some shit going on in the news. Motherfucking this punk ass congresswoman, fucking Republican. She's talking shit about she want motherfuckers to assassinate Hillary Clinton and kill Obama. Not like when she was some little kid or nothing. This is just like a couple years ago. Bitch said kill Democrats and shit like that. Like the Parkland shooting wasn't real. Like one of them crazy type motherfuckers. This bitch. I was thinking about this shit. I was like, man, I'm gonna see how far I can get through without calling this motherfucker a bitch. But I can't help it because she a piece of shit, and if she was a dude, I'd call him a bitch. Motherfuckers that act like that, fuck that bitch. Anyway, Democrats ain't gonna do shit. They gonna be all upset. They ain't gonna do shit. And Republicans sure as fuck ain't gonna do shit about this fucking piece of shit. Like, think about this shit. Democrats made Al Franken resign. They made him quit, even though honestly he shouldn't have. But they put all that pressure on him to quit, took away all his committee assignments and shit like that. And these motherfuckers, man, Al Franken took a fucking couple inappropriate pictures. You know what I'm saying? This shit's ridiculous. This bitch is out here threatening motherfuckers. Actual threats. She was chasing a fucking teenage kid from Parkland because she one of them stupid motherfuckers that think that school shootings ain't real. She one of them gun nuts. In reality, this bitch know that shit real, but she one of them pieces of shit that pushes conspiracies to the point you got a 40-year-old fucking woman chasing this kid with a camera, trying to get him to fucking debate her on how the school shooting Parkland was fake. A 40-year-old motherfucker. This is a congresswoman. This shit happened a couple years ago. This was not when she was a kid. Y'all motherfuckers, man. And the fucking Democrats let this fucking bitch get away with this shit, man. Cause you know if there's a fucking Democrat smiled at some young lady wrong, they be all over this motherfucker. But you got a bitch on the other side that threatened to kill motherfuckers and is fucking with kids, walking on the street. That if you want to fucking do something about some piece of shit in Congress that needs to be gone, do something about that bitch. Motherfuckers got some goddamn power now. Fucking use it for good, for once. Anyway, so all these assholes calling for unity, these fucking Republicans. And Mitt Romney was like, you know what? Half of you fucking Republicans ain't even come out and fucking goddamn admitted that you lost the fucking election. And yeah, you fucking calling for unity. He's like, man, y'all need to shut the fuck up. I'm paraphrasing. But that's what he said. Because they do. Fucking assholes. Unity. How you gonna call for unity when you ain't even acknowledged that you fucking lost? And the fucking Democrats better not accept none of that fucking bullshit. It's ridiculous. Fucking Chicago teachers is bitching again, so you know it's a matter of time before they go on strike. I really don't even know how to call that shit. I don't know if it's the motherfuckers in the higher ups, like the higher ups in the school system, the government that runs it, or the fucking superintendent type motherfuckers and principals, or if it's the teachers. But at some point, somebody needs to change something, because when I was a kid, these motherfuckers was constantly going on strike. Constantly. Every year, you could almost set your fucking watch to the fact that Chicago teachers was gonna go on strike. You never saw this shit in the suburbs. It only happens in Chicago. And it affects kids in a major way, and they know it. So I don't know what the fuck that shit is. All I know is that shit fucking, there ain't been no real results on either side. Teachers always want to strike. The motherfucking administration always lets them strike. And they bitching about some shit right now. I can guarantee you they about to go on strike again. They bitching because I guess they saying shit ain't safe enough. One thing I remember about motherfucking teachers in Chicago before I did get sent to Minnesota, these motherfuckers were allowed to hit you. I got hit by a couple different teachers when I was, I think half of preschool, kindergarten, and half of first grade. Like these motherfucking teachers, man, everybody always want to be like, oh, the teachers are so great, teachers and all that. Fucking teacher locked my goddamn sister in a fucking closet because she wouldn't listen or some shit. To the point where I'm like ready to fucking fight this teacher, and then she fucking threw me in the closet with her. Like, I remember this bitch, I think she was my first grade teacher in Chicago. This bitch, I got in trouble because I'm in first fucking grade, obviously. And a bitch fucking made me walk to the front of the class, and she fucking smacked my hand with a, what she called the magic wand. It's a fucking stick, and it had tape on it, on the end. And these fuckers were allowed to hit us. So no, these fuck-ass goddamn teachers don't get the absolute benefit of the doubt when they always striking. If the shit is really that bad in Chicago, then why the fuck are you a teacher? Because half the time you teaching, doing a shitty job, and the rest of the time you spend on strike, and nothing ever changes. I'm not saying it's 100% on the teachers, but the teachers in Chicago fucking suck. Everything about the education system in Chicago is bullshit. And it's on purpose, and ain't nobody ever doing nothing about it. When I moved to Minnesota, the teachers were not allowed to hit you. Obviously, it's fucking stupid. The same year, I went from a teacher that was allowed to hit you, a bunch of black kids, a fucking Snow White fucking blonde twat, allowed to hit a fucking class full of black kids. Fuckers were allowed to hit us. And I go to Minnesota where it's all white, and the kids were like, what? The teachers in Chicago could hit you? That's insane. They couldn't even imagine. Because it is insane. These fucking pieces of shit. Fuck the teachers in Chicago. They need to get their shit together, or they need to just fucking get rid of all of them and bring motherfuckers in that actually want to goddamn teach, pay them a goddamn decent wage, and fucking get their asses in there and actually do some shit that's good. Cause the fucking, that whole shit about good and bad schools, it's a real thing. My neighborhood was one of them bad schools. Austin High School. That shit was known for being a bad school. But why do bad schools even exist? They shouldn't. All schools should be fucking equal, except for these private assholes. If they want to pay a bunch of fucking money to have a super, you know what I'm saying, better school than everybody else, that's one thing. But public schools, there should not be this good fucking public school and this shitty one. And everybody knows it, and nobody does nothing about it. There should not be such a thing as a bad public school. They should all be the same. But we know they ain't. White schools are always better than fucking any kind of integrated school. If it's just all white by itself, it's gonna be nice as fuck. Because they taking all the fucking money and giving it to those fucking schools. So instead of these assholes fucking striking every time they don't get something they fucking way, how about changing the fucking system to where you going to school at Austin, you ain't got no hope for nothing. They don't even got fucking sports in a fucking school. Then you go down to fucking Oak Park and they got all these nice motherfucking schools. Public. And the only difference is the fucking tax money that comes out of fucking Chicago, it goes into a bunch of dirty motherfuckers' pockets, and the tax money in Oak Park actually goes and pays for the streets to be clean, pays for the fucking schools to be nice, pays for there to be fucking hospitals around for motherfuckers. Their money, their politicians spend their money on the actual shit that they supposed to spend the money on. These fucking assholes in Chicago, they spending money on the fucking cops. That's why the fucking schools are so bad. So you punk ass fucking teachers want to really fucking do something about it. Don't just be bitching about how much you getting paid, but do something about the fucking system that everybody knows is fucked up. But hell no, they won't. These motherfuckers gonna sit out there bitching about how scared they are to get coronavirus, and they gonna fucking go on strike, and they gonna give them a couple more bucks, and then they're gonna come back. They don't give a fuck about them kids. Fucking God. God damn it, I was gonna make this shit short. Fuck. January 28th, man. Nothing happening on the news, really. For some reason. Like, I don't know how this is even a thing. But these motherfuckers carry guns. Some of them. Like, all of them is Republicans. But why the fuck is anybody allowed to carry a gun? If I'm walking up into the Capitol, I gotta assume they gonna fucking make me walk through some shit, and I can't carry a gun up in there. So why the fuck are they letting Congress people walk around with guns? Just walk right around the metal detectors. And now they like fining them. But I don't get it. The fuck is a fine gonna do to for some crazy motherfucker? It ain't even a big fine. It's like $1,000 or some shit. I don't fucking understand when shit gets so heated in Congress all the time. You gonna allow motherfuckers, anybody, to carry guns. The enemy is within Congress. These fucking Democrats, man, they better wake the fuck up real quick. You know how I do? If I was Nancy Pelosi and there is some kind of stupid ass law that you just can't get past or some shit that says these assholes can walk around with fucking guns in the Capitol, it ain't no big deal. To me, it seemed like you should, Nancy Pelosi, she should stand every time the motherfucking Capitol open. She should motherfucking stand at the goddamn doors. Then every Democrat that walk through the door, she should give them a gun. Just give everybody guns. Fuck it. If these fucking asshole Republicans are gonna be walking around with guns, then fuck it. If motherfuckers want to get stupid, you don't fight stupid with reason, man. That shit does not work. You cannot reason with somebody that's not on a reasonable level. They don't got no interest in reason. So unless you can physically stop these assholes from coming into Congress with their guns, and I don't mean by finding them, I mean actually you ain't coming in here if you got a gun. It's that simple. If they don't fucking bow down to that, then give everybody guns. It's like, you want to get stupid? You fight stupid with stupid. You do not fight stupid with reason. Motherfuckers want to carry guns, then fuck it. Have all Democrats carry guns. Have that some point somebody motherfucking shoot somebody. Now, a big ass shootout in Congress. And maybe they actually do something about all these other guns in the fucking country. It's such a... It's so stupid that it's obviously on purpose. They want all this gun violence. I think it's like a warning to the other countries that, yeah, you might think you want to fuck with us, but it's not just the government you would have to deal with if you come fuck with this country. Everybody's got a gun. Motherfucker, I got a gun. Everybody's got a gun. That's what she should do. Hand out some fucking guns to all these Democrats instead of bitching about some shit that you apparently can't do nothing about. Because I gotta imagine if they could pass a law that said these dumbass motherfuckers like that fucking crazy dipshit Marjorie. That's gonna be the next Trump. Watch. That bitch versus Kamala. Next election. I'm calling it right now. Cause you got a crazy, dumbass, blonde, fucking moron with no goddamn, or at least not normal morals. Cause it's not normal for a fucking 40-year-old motherfucker to be chasing a kid down the street, trying to get him to debate her. This kid was 18 while this bitch is fucking chasing him down the street. 40. She's 40. That's the next Trump. It's not a fake thing. She's a crazy ass motherfucker. And you know these Republicans love crazy motherfuckers. So I'm calling it right now. Unless she do something so stupid and egregious. This bitch said you should kill Obama and fucking Hillary Clinton. Bitch said that shit. So all I know is you don't fight crazy with reason. You don't fight stupid by trying to fucking talk to them. Motherfuckers want to get stupid? Alright, let's fucking everybody get stupid in this motherfucker. And it's guaranteed at some point there will be a shootout. It would look fucking heinous and it would go down in history. And maybe these fucking, even the Republicans would start fucking thinking about how dumb it is for everybody to be walking around with a fucking gun. Until it happens, it'll be entertaining as fuck. Use their shitty tactics against them. Stop letting them fucking intimidate you. These motherfuckers talk about, oh, they trying to intimidate us. Well, how about not letting these motherfuckers intimidate you by playing they fucking game the same way? You can't just sit around finding some motherfucker that's okay. You know, she could pay that fine every day and be walking around strapped in the Capitol. It don't make no sense. But if motherfuckers want to get stupid, they should get stupid. Get stupid with them. Yeah, I was thinking about when I was talking about that fucking punk ass bitch that fucking hit me, that teacher. I think that shit like really did scar me, at least when I was a little kid, because like I said, I had moved from Chicago to Minnesota, pretty sure in the middle of the year. If not in the middle of the school year, it was like right at the beginning. So it wasn't like there was like no shift. Just one second I'm in Chicago, next I'm in Minnesota. My 6-year-old self, or 5-year-old, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I think I was 6. So, like I said, this chick was fucking blonde. Platinum blonde, motherfucking 20 to 30-year-old bitch. Some fucking old bitch to me, because I'm 6. So, in Minnesota, there was a librarian, and she was white. I mean, obviously. But she was like blonde, 20 to 30. And her name was Mrs. Whitey. I remember. I'm like not being funny or ironic. That was her name. Her name was Mrs. Whitey. Anyway. So, I remember being scared of this lady. This librarian. She wasn't nothing but nice. Just super nice, pleasant lady. And the only thing was she looked like that bitch that hit me in Chicago. I think for a couple years, I was scared of her. The fucking librarian. Probably one of the nicest motherfuckers you ever meet. But because she looked like that bitch from Chicago, I remember I was scared of her. Fully expecting that bitch to hit me at some point, I guess. That shit's fucked up, man. These motherfuckers, man. I feel like they do that shit on purpose, man, because we was like, it made me not have no respect. I wouldn't say no respect, because I think my dad installed a respect for education that the teachers could never fuck with, or at least for reading and understanding about shit. Even if he didn't agree with it, he made sure that I heard other sides. I wasn't just constantly hearing this whitewash shit. He like put me onto a lot of shit. A lot of times, like when I be getting mad about my dad being a Republican, it's like I felt some kind of way about it, but I think it was like noticing that he was like down with Trump was kind of what pushed me over the fucking top with that shit. But in reality, my dad was very open-minded to me learning more than just what white motherfuckers and the conservative shit that the conservative media that he would consume around me. I think he made it a point for me to understand that wasn't for me, it was for him. So, I guess in many ways, at least I appreciate that shit. But yeah, like I said, I don't even know where that came from. But Miss Whitey, she was nice, and she would never hurt a fly. But I was scared of her because she looked like a chick back in Chicago that hit me. That's fucked up. It's like, why were they hitting us? Nobody fucking ever asked that question. It just kind of, I gotta assume they ain't doing that still. No fucking way they still hitting kids in Chicago. I can't imagine. So at some point it stops, and nobody says nothing about how fucked up it was. I wonder. Why the fuck that shit stopped like that? Really though, it stopped obviously because these motherfuckers knew they was wrong. Otherwise, why would they stop? I think even more important question is, why the fuck was our parents allowing these fucking assholes to hit us? Like, how do you agree to that shit? Yeah, feel free to smack the shit out of my kids anytime you feel like it. Like, how the fuck does that shit work? I don't know. The thought of just fucking allowing some motherfucking teacher to hit my kid, that's crazy as fuck. Like, at some point in Chicago and everywhere else, 'cause I can't imagine Chicago was the only motherfuckers where they was fucking hitting us. They had some kind of vote, some city council, some I don't know who the fuck would vote on that shit. The goddamn education board or some shit. But at some point, a group of motherfuckers got together and said, should we hit kids? Should we allow teachers to hit kids or not? There had to be at some point something like that happened. This shit is crazy. And they were like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's let some assholes surrounded by 30 motherfuckers just stress the fuck out all the time. Fucking just pick kids out to randomly hit. Because every kid is gonna do something that some teacher doesn't like at some point. And just deciding to give them the fucking green light to just fucking whack a little kid, giving some 20-something-year-old bitch the fucking go-ahead to hit a class full of black kids whenever the fuck she wants. What the fuck kind of message were they trying to send with that shit? And why the fuck would our parents, who probably got hit by their teachers, sign on to that shit? Because if I found out some motherfucker was hitting my motherfucking kid, I'm telling you, man, he ready to motherfucking hurt somebody. And it wouldn't even be about thinking about it. Somebody would get hurt if they was doing that shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if, say, my kids, it was fucking being rowdy and fighting and shit, and a motherfucker had to hold them or hold them back. But to actually have a goddamn stick in your desk called the magic wand, used specifically for intimidating and hitting black kids. My class was all black. The only motherfucker in this class that wasn't black was the fucking teacher. And she was allowed to hit us. It's like, what message were they trying to send with that shit? And why was our parents okay with that shit? I just don't get it. Alright. That's it. One thing I did see on the news, they talking about Johnson & Johnson got that vaccine going. Every time I hear Johnson & Johnson, I think about Band-Aids and the fucking cotton in them Band-Aids that soaks up that blood. With names like Johnson and the fact that it's a shit ton of motherfuckers in this country, black motherfuckers in this country with the last name Johnson, and you think about the fact that these motherfuckers is making Band-Aids, so clearly they've been working with cotton. They the number one motherfuckers in, like, I don't know if it's the world, but definitely in this country. Number one motherfuckers in this world in making Band-Aids and gauze and all that shit. And that means they made they fucking living off of growing cotton. So it's almost certain that Johnson & Johnson had fucking slaves. And they probably had a bunch of them. Because like I said, think about how many, not only them, Jackson also. Think about how many Jacksons and Johnsons there are out there. Those are Dutch names. The Dutch were notorious for motherfucking slaving. They were fucking slavers. Johnson & Johnson is on. I don't know this for a fact, so I'm fucking speculating. But Johnson & Johnson, they owe black people a lot of fucking money. Like, I don't really fuck around with the thought about reparations because I think we've intermingled purposefully, like we wanted to. We've intermingled enough now that it would be too hard for a whole approach to everybody that's black or gets money, because a lot of us have, you know what I'm saying, interracial relationships on purpose because we want to. Ain't got shit to do with rape like it did back in the fucking slave days and quite a bit after. But if you think about it, these motherfuckers it's not just Johnsons either. Now I think about it, like the names that I'm personally affiliated with are Wright. Wright is the last name of my grandma, I think, or of her mom or something like that. McWayne, Cooper, and Davis. Those are the names that are affiliated with me. Those names are like all Irish. And Cooper is definitely an Irish or Scottish. Those motherfuckers intermingle, so I don't know which one it is. McWayne definitely is. Wright, I'm pretty sure it is. Davis, I think that might be English. Or it might be Irish. Either way, Irish motherfuckers, English motherfuckers, just all these motherfuckers, they owe people. And these motherfuckers with these big names where there's a lot of motherfuckers, like there's a lot of Coopers. That means the fucking there's a lot of slaves that came from the white motherfuckers named Cooper. So you figure out where their money is, because a lot of that money came from us. And while I don't think every single motherfucker deserves like a check or some shit like that from the motherfucking government because of what they did, I find that shit insulting. I do think when we find these motherfuckers that definitely had slaves and definitely made their fortunes off of the fucking sweat and blood of fucking black people, we should make them motherfuckers make, because they ain't gonna do it for just altruism or doing the right thing. We have to make them pay to fix up majority black neighborhoods. fix up the schools, throw some hospital in the bitches, do all this shit that the white neighborhoods ain't got, and make these motherfucking billionaires spend some of that money on the people that they fucked over. I think that's how you do reparations. You find the Coopers that made a whole bunch of fucking money. You find the McWaynes that made a whole bunch of money. You find the Jacksons. Look how many, not only just regular motherfuckers is named Jackson, but how many superstar motherfuckers got the name Jackson or Johnson in there, especially athletes. Those motherfuckers used to do eugenics on us. You know what I'm saying? Where they trying to get the biggest motherfucker, the strongest motherfucker, the fastest. Used to do eugenics on us. You know what I'm saying? Where they trying to get the biggest motherfucker, the strongest motherfucker, the fastest motherfucker, all that shit for they working in they punk ass fields. So the fact is, so many motherfuckers named Johnson that are like prime athletes on top of all this other shit. The fact that my brother or my cousin's name is Cooper, he's the fastest motherfucker I ever seen. This motherfucker was born with a six-pack. Like, I say that shit as kind of a joke, but I swear to God, when he was in kindergarten, so 5 years old, he had a fucking six-pack and a build that I couldn't even get close to until I was like 16 years old and like 2 years into fucking weightlifting and shit. This shit came natural. That shit comes from what the fuck they did to us back in the day. So I don't know, man. I think if motherfuckers really want to hold the slave owners accountable and get past this motherfucking hurt feelings that we all got, and even white people, they like are always worried that black motherfuckers is gonna explode on their ass. That's a major like worry that they have, and that's what happens when you abuse somebody and then you stop abusing them. You worried that motherfucker gonna start abusing you. White motherfuckers, a lot of them obviously are speaking over generalization, but white motherfuckers got that shit where they know they treated us like shit, and they fear if they ever get put in a fucking similar situation, we gonna treat them like shit. So that's another reason why they fucking fuck with us and treat us like shit forever. Because they scared of us. And they know they was wrong. And when you know you wrong, you should be ashamed. But these motherfuckers gotta walk around like they ain't did nothing wrong. I don't understand why they do that shit. But slaves were promised 40 acres and a mule. That's like a car and a crib, basically. And it's a lot of motherfuckers in this country that don't got a car and a crib. And if they had more of a chance, if they were given the same equal opportunity to get a job, get a bank loan, get a real education, I think shit would make a lot of the hard feelings that black people do got against white motherfuckers. I think a lot of them feelings, I don't think it should have ever 100% go away, because that's just how it is. But motherfuckers could actually start to forgive and forget. And shit ain't never gonna happen. It's like when I said these motherfuckers calling for unity, these Republicans calling for unity from the Democrats, but they ain't never even admitted what they did. So it don't make sense to unify. It's the same thing where white motherfuckers in this country, let's face it, not all of them, once again, there's plenty of white motherfuckers that's cool as shit. But I'm talking about the way they teach us in school, and the just society in general is very clear that they feel like ignoring what they did to us is the best way to go about this shit. And it ain't. You can't ignore it. You face it. You apologize like the fucking Germans apologized to the fucking Jews about what they did, and they paid them reparations. So this ain't a new thing, but something that happened 200 years ago versus something that happened like 70 years ago. It's not gonna be as easy to fucking track that shit down. So I understand the resignation over fucking reparations, but because also there's plenty of broke ass white motherfuckers. They got their own problems past what their ancestors did. And I actually understand that thought process too, because we blaming the son for the father's or the sins of the father. And I understand that shit when poor whites are like, fuck that shit, why the fuck I'm gonna pay reparations for some shit that I ain't got nothing to do with, and maybe my fucking ancestors ain't even got shit to do with. So now I'm just gonna be punished for being white because it's white motherfuckers that was completely against slavery from the beginning for moral reasons. I mean, a lot of them motherfuckers was against it for the wrong reason, but it was a lot of motherfuckers that were against slavery for moral reasons. White motherfuckers. So to just blanket say we gonna take money from every white motherfucker in the country and give it to every black motherfucker, that don't make no sense. But companies like Johnson & Johnson or Cooper Tires or whatever, for looking at their money, find out if they really did have slaves. Because you know they did. And no way motherfuckers use that much cotton with the names Johnson and didn't have a bunch of slaves. And then make them invest in majority black areas. Make them. They got that money from us in our hard work. Building this motherfucker for these motherfuckers. They owe us. We just haven't figured out the right way to do it. And I think that's obviously always up to debate. But as far as I can tell, I think that's how we should do this shit. Make these motherfuckers pay. As far as I think that's it for today. I ain't really got shit else to say. Ain't shit really happening in the news. So January 29th, 2021. I'm almost done with this fucking Straight Outta Compton. I love this movie, but I need to start watching it more better because this shit taking forever. I got some boring ass movies coming up. January 30, 2021. Walk on treadmill. Still watching Straight Outta Compton. Ain't shit really happening. Just more bullshit. Dr. Fauci out there talking that bullshit. Anthony Scaramucci out there talking that bullshit. Old girl caught that motherfucker out. But yeah, it's just been a bunch of arguing and dumb shit about unity and all that fucking stupid shit. Nothing real going on. Ain't even no fucking football. These motherfuckers changed the goddamn shit. I remember back when I was a kid, the Pro Bowl, that shit used to mean something. They had that shit in fucking Hawaii. Motherfucking Super Bowl, they have it a week after the Super Bowl. Now they got the week before the Super Bowl. Don't make no goddamn sense. It was like a thing. It was proud to go to fucking Pro Bowl. Motherfuckers, the goddamn Super Bowl champions would come in last and they get a goddamn standing ovation from all the other Pro Bowlers. That shit was cool. And now it's just this dumbass fucking thing that needs to be done away with. You can't play real football at half speed. So it's just a bad idea to begin with. Sean Taylor, the only motherfucker I ever saw play the fucking Pro Bowl at full speed. They ain't making no more Sean Taylors, so that shit need to be done with. Anyway, ain't shit happening. January 31, 2021. Walking on treadmill, watching Straight Outta Compton. Ain't shit really happening in the news. Dipshit lost all his fucking lawyers because he's still trying to get him to fight. This motherfucker got a goddamn impeachment trial coming up. Then he gonna have to defend himself for real because he ain't got the powers of the presidency behind him no more. He tried to fuck off. They can throw his ass in jail. He wanna play all these fucking games when he's president. He ain't got that power no more. So he needs to fucking listen to his lawyers. But of course he don't. And he talking about he want the lawyers to get up there and argue about how this is all bullshit and he won the election. So they all quit. What a stupid fucking piece of shit. You know how easy that money is? How much of an asshole you gotta be to make a lawyer want to quit on your ass? I mean, these motherfuckers are sitting there making easy money. They could go out there and do the dumb shit he's asking. But it's so fucking retarded, they ain't gonna do it. And they shouldn't. Putting my reputation on the line for the talk some dumb shit for this fucking idiot. Shit's insane. Anyway, that's about it for the news. Watching this goddamn movie. This is a really, really good movie, man. This movie takes you from like being happy and fuck and all nostalgic and shit, and then it's like it's just weird. It's like, cause the end of it, it's so fucking sad, man. Watching Eazy-E just like waste away. It's just fucking sad. It's like one of them motherfucking what do you call it? Those motherfucking I don't know, examples of a life you don't want to live. Anyway, like I said, nothing going on. I gotta get healthy. I got things to do. You know what's crazy? They talking about how they was gonna do this motherfucking reunion, and E gets that motherfucking gets AIDS. I remember that shit. And they talking about how they made the fucking fans pick between them. That shit's true. I used to love motherfucking NWA. And when Q broke off, it's like, at first I had beef with Q, which is stupid because I was like, what, 13, some shit like that. And then I was like, I didn't like his first album, but pretty much all the rest of them I liked, and I liked them more than NWA. But what's like super sad, I was thinking about that song Natural Born Killers. Man, that's a good ass song, and that's an even better video. And Eazy-E was probably supposed to be in that song. That's fucking sad, man. Cause Natural Born Killers, that's definitely one of the easy top 5 videos ever. And I bet you Eazy was supposed to be in that shit. It's fucking sad. But yeah, man, ain't shit going on. It's just another shitty fucking day. Hey, but you know what? It's January 31st. I made it a whole motherfucking month out this bitch, and I wasn't even sure if I'm doing this shit. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm actually gonna make it. But every motherfucking day, I've been out on this motherfucker for at least a half hour, walking and watching movies. Every motherfucking day. Sometimes I'd be like going for, I think the longest I went was like an hour and a half. But most of the time, it probably averaged out to about 45 minutes. I'm on this motherfucker. I ain't finna all of a sudden get in great shape and shit, because that's not what walking do. But I think this shit could like maintain my health, because I got a fucking horrible diet, man. And I smoke too much. So who the fuck knows? I figure as long as I'm doing this shit, like I feel like death is always on a constant chase from birth. Like there's a dude or a fucking metaphor named Death walking behind us constantly. He's fucking starts out hundreds of thousands of miles, behind. And he's constantly on the walk. And then sometimes you stop, sometimes you sleep. There's all kinds of times when you are not walking or running in this metaphorical death race. That motherfucker's constantly behind you and he's trying to catch up to you. And I figure as long as I'm like, it's stupid, but it's true. This is how I feel. As long as I'm walking, then I stay ahead of that motherfucker at least a little bit more. Because every time you sleep, that motherfucker's catching up. Because you ain't moving. Every time you moving, you're moving faster than that motherfucker can walk. So even if you're just walking, you're moving faster than that motherfucker can walk. So while you're sleeping, he's catching up. But if you get up and you get out there and walk, you gonna motherfucking stay ahead of that bitch. And if you run, you can stay even further ahead. Be hard for that motherfucker to catch a nigga to run. That's just a fact. That's basically metaphorically saying you staying in better shape than you would if you were just walking. But anything is better than nothing. Everybody need to get out and move their ass somehow. It gets the blood circulating, even if that's all it does. It doesn't make you immune. Doesn't mean motherfucker gonna live forever. None of that shit. All it means is that this is a motherfucking race and you win it. That's all it means. If you ain't moving, then you out of that race. And we all take a little time out of that race when we sleep. So I figure get my ass on these fucking treadmills and keep moving. And at least try to stay ahead of this motherfucker. Cause he on my ass. And try to stay ahead. Anyway. Shit, that's about it. Fuck, man. Eazy died when he was 31.
Me a personal letter to read to each and every one of his fans and loved ones. I just feel that I've got thousands and thousands of young
Alright, man.
that have to learn.
It's still January 31st. I'm all proud of myself about making it a whole month through. I forgot. Hey, and I'm going to keep this shit going through all the next 11 months. That's my fucking challenge to myself. As long as I'm able, I'm going to be out in this motherfucker for at least a year. For at least a half hour every day. But I think that was cool as fuck for Eazy-E being known for what he was known for, and then on his way out to let all his fans and young motherfuckers know that AIDS ain't no motherfucking joke. Like, that was some real grown ass shit for him to do. This man, 31 years old when he died. I remember how when Straight Outta Compton came out, how like us young motherfuckers was listening to this NWA shit. Like, motherfuckers didn't even understand about NWA. It was like, I remember my little cousin was walking around talking about bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. He's walking around singing that song. Now that's Dr. Dre. Actually, that's a Dog Pound, but still, same shit. NWA. It all springs from that. He's walking around talking about bitches ain't shit. And then his moms and his aunt heard him singing this shit. And they, I swear to God, they was like, this kid needs a motherfucking exorcism or something. Why is he saying words like that? They couldn't even comprehend that this was the music now. I even tried to tell them, I was like, no, that's the song. And they was like, no, it ain't. Hell, that's the devil in that boy. It was like that. That's how NWA affected the olds. They was like, what the fuck? They could not put their fucking mind around motherfuckers was talking like this in a song. I remember they thought he was, I don't know if they really thought it, but they said he was possessed by a devil for saying this fucking shit. And they said that he was crazy, making up lyrics. And I'm like, no, there is a song called Bitches Ain't Shit. And they wouldn't believe me. That shit was just crazy to me. But yeah, that's how they affected us kids, and that's how they affected adults. I mean, one time me and my little homie Jermaine, we was like hanging out in front of the house, and this prostitute was walking by. I'm probably about 13, Jermaine probably about 11 or 12. And this prostitute saw him walking by. He was like cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the bitches, slapping the hoes. He yells it out to that chick. And she knew he was talking about her. And that shit was just fucking funny. She like chasing him around in her fucking high heels and shit. That shit was funny as fuck to me. And NWA was like that with us kids. It was good shit all around. But yeah, it's sad. And Eazy ended up like that, and he didn't get to be on Natural Born Killers, because that would have been some shit. Natural Born Killers was already shit. It'd have been even better if E was on it. That's fucking sad.
Doesn't necessarily mean that she's contracted the virus, but
And one more thing that happened to the, and I'm pretty sure it ain't real. It's just a fucking rumor, but I want this shit so bad. After the dipshit, all his fucking lawyers quit, cause he ain't on Twitter no more, so nobody really knows what he's saying. And that's good, cause you could just imagine the poison this asshole would be spitting out if he could. But anyway, there's a rumor going around that dipshit is gonna defend himself in the fucking impeachment trial. Like I said, it's a rumor, it's speculation. But man, could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine if this dude tries to defend himself? I mean, I don't think the impeachment trial is gonna work. There's just not enough Republicans that's willing to grow a pair. There's some subservient ass bitches. But let me tell you something. I will watch every second of that motherfucker if that dumb motherfucker actually decides to defend himself. That would be so great. Yeah, that's it. January 31st. Signing out.